Why is my daughter so desperate for affirmation and boy crazy? Well, let's talk about that today on Tips on Teens. My name is Kent Toussaint. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I specialize in helping kids, teens, and families to live happier lives. I lead two organizations, Teen Therapy Center and the nonprofit 501c3 organization, Child and Teen Counseling, both here in Woodland Hills, California. Every Wednesday at noon, I jump on Facebook Live to answer your parenting questions. Let's answer today's. My daughter is 16 and she's totally boy crazy. We allow her to date and we've talked about safe sex and consent. Our real concern is that her whole identity seems based on who likes her and who doesn't. It goes beyond male attention too. She's obsessed with how many likes she gets on social media. Is there anything we can do to help her be less desperate for this kind of affirmation? Thank you for your question. In the short term, no. Unfortunately, teenagers being boy crazy or girl crazy or both is not uncommon. It's happened throughout all of our lives. It will probably continue to be happening. But there's really kind of two issues here. There's this boy craziness, which it sounds like you have somewhat of a handle on. Seems like you have an open conversation, whether open dialogue with dating and issues like consent and respectful relationships, which is great. The more education your child has, the better, and the more she feels safe to talk to you about, the better she'll likely make healthier, safer choices that way, if she has a safe place. But needing that affirmation, needing that external validation to define her self-worth is, again, not uncommon. Adults do it too, but especially teenagers do it a lot. And what our teenagers have that we didn't have is they have social media, which is this artificial measure of your worth based on how many likes you have or how many followers you have, and so on and so forth. So I think it's really important to have those conversations as well about your self-worth and how the flimsiness of that value, because it can be torn away at any time based on other people's whims. We do want validation. We do want accolades. We all like it. It feels good. But if that's how we put our whole self-worth, then we always feel empty. There's always this endless and bottomless pit that never gets filled because we don't know how to fill it ourselves. Social media is not the way to fill it. I've worked with people who are in the social media industry who are influencers, and they're constantly, they never feel fulfilled. And it's really important that we find something else. Hopefully your daughter has something else, some other activity, whether it's sports or martial arts or something in the arts or speech and debate, or again, it doesn't really matter what she's doing as long as it's something that she feels connected to it. It's has creative stimulation for her, physical stimulation perhaps, social stimulation in real life. That will help her grow with maturity to start finding more of a balanced view of who she is beyond the likes on social media or the male attention she may be getting. Another thing of male attention, and we talked about this a little over a year ago, like March 2022, we had a video similar to this about asking about boy crazy teenagers. And one of the things that we didn't really get to, but I think this really talks about, is that male attention. How much is she inadvertently falling into the objectification of herself in our society? Media objectifies young, beautiful people all the time. And we sometimes fall into that as well. We don't mean to, but society can push us in that direction. And I'm not saying you should never do that. It's up to you. I want to be body positive and allow people to express themselves in the way they want to. But is your daughter expressing herself in a way that makes her feel good for herself, or is it for how other people accept her? And another thing about this is, if it really focuses on male attention, does she have people in her life, family members, let's say, who can give her that unconditional acceptance who are male? A father, an uncle, a grandfather, for example, who can just accept her for who she is, regardless of what she looks like, regardless of what she does. Just that unconditional, what we like to say in our field, unconditional positive regard, where she feels accepted no matter what. No matter what her hair looks like or what pimples she has, that positive male role model in her life has a smile and a hug and warm words to share with her in any time in her life. And I think it's important to have that. Sometimes, again, a father, a grandfather, an uncle, a neighbor who you feel close with, a family friend, could be a therapist. You know, it just depends on what she needs. There's nothing short-term about this. This is a long-term thing. I think maintaining these conversations are important. And again, also make sure that she has outlets that inspire her creatively, physically, and socially. That will help her develop into hopefully a stronger and more confident adult in her life. That's our question for today. Thank you very much. Again, my name is Kent Toussaint with Teen Therapy Center and Child and Teen Counseling. If you like your question answered here on Tips on Teens, email us at tipsonteens@teentherapycenter.com. We also have a Facebook group called Tips on Teens. Feel free to join it. We love your questions. Keep them coming. And I will see you guys next Wednesday at noon. Bye-bye.